Hello and welcome back. This video is here to introduce you to Evergreen Technology and our custom software service. Let's start with the question, what do you want your computer to do? Easier and faster estimating? Perhaps automatic estimating sheets to give to your customers? Or automatically set up a job for your field workers? That kind of stuff. The question at the root of any custom software is always, what does it cost? I've done some quick and simple programs for as little as $150, while others have gone into the thousands. Obviously, the cost is based on the complexity of the software. I've prepared this video to show you a simple single component or single array type of a program through a multi-component or multi-array type of a software program. At the end, I will tell you exactly how much time I took making this software demo so that you can get an idea of how complex and detailed the software can be for a very affordable price. First, I use Microsoft Excel for the platform in programming because Microsoft Excel is becoming the wave of the future, merging with Visual Basic and mobile applications. The functionality is astounding. Thus, as you see the screen, you will notice a typical Excel borders at times. Let's begin with typical software ideas. Here's an example of what the single array or a very simple program might entail. The company down here at the bottom will tell us that this company sells gizmos and bobics. What they want is a simple pricing sheet, one database function, single array. If we take a look at the database needed for this, you'll see it's very simple, not that much to it. Back to our single array. What this company would do is they would come in here and say, okay, I'm going to make a gizmo. I need the frame. I'll need to have a board. I'll need to have a remote. And I need to pick a battery pack for this thing, type 1 or type 2. This is going to be a type 1 battery. Quantity, and let's build one of these things. So we can type in one of each of those components. And it will say, okay, your price is going to be $161. Okay, so what happens if we need a double battery in that thing? We can put in 2. It'll automatically update the price. Very simple single array type system. Now the next is called the dual array. The dual array is a little bit more complex. That's where we have a company here that assembles an item, 2 or more suppliers to choose from based on the quality of the finished product. What they need is a system that allows them to see the difference for the hours needed to assemble based on the complexity of the parts. It takes 2 databases. We'll take a look at the dual database screen and you'll see it's a little bit more complex than the simple one with a little bit more components to it, which allows them to then look at each of the manufacturer's specific parts and their specific names and the specific time it takes to assemble them. Here's the example. They've selected the manufacturer AMS for AM supply. Item name. Well, we're going to need a product case for this component. We're also going to need product boards. Come back up here. We're going to add to that a power pack. And let's throw in a carrying case for that thing. Then based on this manufacturer, it will give them the manufacturer's specific product names. This particular case, plastic case with a plastic case liner and acrylic footings. A total of assembly time of about 1.5 hours. What happens if they shift to a different supplier? Same components, just a different quality of items. They shift to ITS, which is going to be ITL products. Now you'll notice the parts have shifted to aluminum. Now we're now looking at aluminum cases, liners, and rubber footings. However, it takes a little bit longer to assemble those components for about 1.75 hours up here at the top. So that shows you the dual complexity of that type of a software package. Now getting into the more funky stuff. This is a multi-array. In this case, we have a company that installs epoxy floor systems. What they need is a system that will allow them to automatically calculate labor and materials and see the price difference between different material suppliers. This requires several databases that all talk together with each other to give instant results based on a single click. Let's check it out and see how that works. First, the database. As you can see, it takes a little bit more complexity of multiple databases, all that need to communicate with each other. And that works in an interesting way. Now the user wants this as easy and as fast as possible with a lot of features. So check it out. The first thing they would do is enter the quantity. Let's say they have a quantity of 1,000 square feet. What system do they want? They can see the list of what they've got set up so far. EFF stands for an epoxy floor with a flake broadcast. Hit the down arrow, they'll select that EFF code, and it will show them the result of the epoxy flake that you have selected. The supplier, let's start at the top. Let's take NS, that would be a never strip supplier. And for rental, do we need rental equipment for this project? If not, we have the equipment ourselves. We can just leave that blank. But if we need to rent some equipment for that project, let's pick our favorite allied rental company here to see what type of prices they can get for me. Now you see, all they did is enter those 4 things, and it tells them here's the first step. First step, put on the primer. Second step, broadcast the flakes. Third step, get the extreme performance top coat. Now notice the name is specific to the manufacturer, Neverstrip, NS being Neverstrip epoxy primer. For the equipment, you're going to need an 18 Lavina grinder. You're going to need a 7-inch hand grinder. You're going to need a HEPA system with filter bags. So it comes up with exactly what you need in the event that you need to rent all that, and which supplier that's coming from. For the labor, you have 20 hours, including the first initial prep and the first coat. You have 2 hours for the broadcast. You have 3.4 hours to put on the top coat. This is based on the information put into the database. Now, where it becomes powerful. Now, remember, we only put in those 4 items up here at the top of the screen. You'll notice down here at the bottom, the price to the customer is showing here at $4,948. The customer says, that's a little bit on the spendy side. Is there anything you can do to reduce the price? The labor is pretty much carved in stone. It doesn't matter whose product we come in, but I can check different suppliers. What happens if we shift to CP? That would be Crown Polymers. Whoops, the price went up to $5,100. Well, let's check our other supplier, GP. That would be General Polymers. Now, General Polymers, their price went down. We could save them about $300 by switching manufacturers, and it gives that company, GP, General Polymer, is going to have their Primex 100 is what they call their products. Flakes is flakes. They call it Polycoat 400 for their material for the top coat. So you see, just by selecting the manufacturer, it'll automatically update all of the manufacturer-specific products with their related prices, spread rates, the whole thing. Same thing down here for labor. Labor is going to take about 25 hours for that, a little bit longer to take on. 2 hours for this, 4 hours for this. However, they save the money and the cost of the materials, giving them an overall cost. Very powerful thing. Now, it doesn't stop there. Now, remember, they only put in 4 things up here at the top: the quantity, the system supplier, and the rental company. Based on that, they wanted an automatic material report. That is now ready to place your orders for this project. You're going to need 10 gallons of this product, 7 boxes of flakes, 4 gallons of this product. There's your prices expected. You can turn this over to a purchase order if you want to. You can also keep track of the color. Type in the color that they've asked for from the customer, how many you've ordered. If you want to order 6 to start with, it'll let you know you've ordered 6, you have 4 remaining. The Allied Rentals, same thing. It gives you a list of what you're renting and the quantity and the prices that's related to that specific manufacturer. We're not done. They wanted a field report. Next button on the left. This goes out to the workers in the field, letting them know, here's the products you're putting down in each step. Here's the hours you have allowed for each one. We want to beat this by a 20% goal. So your goal hours is to get the work done in this amount of time. You can keep track of the actual hours that they took to see where they stand. At the end of the job, they spent 16 hours on the first step, prep and first coat. They saved $589 on that. However, they went over on the next 2 steps. This may help you in your estimating fine-tuning. Down here, it even gets better. For the first step of the Primex 100, it automatically generates for them the instructions. Grind the floors to 150 grit. Mix your epoxy 4:1 ratio, squeegee and back roll, etc. Whatever they want for the instructions specific to that product, specific from that manufacturer's set of instructions. And a space for the field notes down here. We're not done. Back to the left. Automatic estimate sheet. Proposal sheet to the customer. Have their company name up here automatically defaulted. All they need to do is type in the project name, attention to whom. That's it, if that's all they want. Again, this screen can be custom designed to look exactly how you want it to look with any kind of clarifications. In this particular case, it came in here with an exact description of what the prep is going to include. It pulled up the manufacturer that was selected, their product name, how many steps it's going to be, the total price for the job, and anything down you want below. That is a quick, simple demonstration of custom software, quick review, single array, very affordable, very inexpensive, takes very little time. Dual array, a little bit more complex with a couple of functionalities, or multiple array, you can see has all the powers of a lot of different features, all with only 4 user inputs to let you know how powerful software can be for you, and how it can save you a lot of time, because we all know time is money. Hey, speaking of which, I did mention at the beginning of this video that we were going to tell you exactly how much time it took me to develop all of this custom software. Just a demo for you. The demo was actually done in 5 hours of time, total time. That would be a cost of around $500 to get that thing built from scratch to finish. So you can see it's really could be very affordable depending upon the complexity. Of course, if you have something that is about 10 times larger than that, you can kind of figure out the price that way. But before you make any judgments, let's not guess. All you have to do is just give me a call at the number showing on your screen. When you call this number, I can do a remote access. I can show you all the different software packages we've developed for other people, relational to the cost that it took. We could figure out exactly what you want to do and come up with a dead-on accurate number for you. So now would be a good time to pause your computer and grab that number on the screen. Give me a call here. We've been more than happy to talk to you and find out what we can do and answer the question for you. What would you like your computer to do?